Welcome to our third and final round with Sliver Nonsense. Oh, yeah, sure, Ether Vial hand, perfect. I had a freak out moment where I was about to click and I was like, wait a second, is that a Ziggurat? But it was not. Okie dokie. I don't think more Lords would have solved any of my problems in the games I was having issues. I will say again that Sidewinder Sliver brings some serious business. This probably takes Gale Rider as my. I guess the Shadow Sliver kind of does the same thing as the Gale Rider. It's actually really interesting. So there's an argument for um, any of the cards except for Sidewinder, I think. Like this, the Shadow Sliver doesn't die to Fatal Push, so if you need to deal with that, like the evasive creature, that's the way. If you're afraid of taking damage in larger chunks, you take the Leeching Sliver. Um, if you want to slow my roll a little bit, you take the Gale Rider. Also, if you have like one answer, you can take the Gale Rider and then pick this off. And then if you really want to slow my roll, but have like enough removal to like deal with stuff up curve, you take this. It's actually just a really interesting spot. I'll let my opponent think about it. I don't know if I learned too much about their hand based on it. It's also like kind of the best draw for the matchup as long as I never see another Ether Vial. Just a bunch of spells, a little bit of mana. Okay. So they are probably a Snapcaster. I guess I probably can assume they have a Snapcaster Mage. And that I should draw a Dispersion Sliver in one turn. I don't think there's a huge drawback to just playing the Sidewinder. That at least leaves them guessing that I might have another one in my hand, like I might have top decked a Gale Rider or something. Okay. So we didn't learn anything. I guess they don't necessarily. Hmm. Yeah, I don't necessarily have anything. What happened? Did I get Risefalled? That's a beating. Um, let's extend the crappy lord so that if they kill it, it's better. I think this is the worst one, right? Because actually predatory might have been the bad lord because this actually lets me attack into a creature and deal damage. That was brutal. Risefall sucks. Okay, double opt. I would like no land here. And then I can shove for a lot. If I draw another land, my opponent's pretty dead. I guess if they do nothing and I hit a land, they're pretty dead. What did they do with those ops? They went bottom bottom. That's really good for me. No. Tassiger. That's really bad for me. Straw Gale Rider. Eh. Yeah, I should have. Yeah, I should have. If I had this in play, I would have been in a much better spot. So I'd have been fine throwing. I think this is right. This does 6 to my opponent, puts them to 5. I have 3 creatures with a leeching in play. Yeah. If I'd thrown this away, I would have actually had them dead. That was a mistake. I should have realized that Leeching Sliver was the better lord to keep around. Yeah. If I had, yeah, if I had sequenced this right, I would have won. I do want to take that up because there are cards I want to hit that I can't cast off of my mana. Well, it's lethal if they have nothing, so I think that the game doesn't get better if I wait. They had nothing. Perfect. Okay, so we said on the play, I just want to jam on them, and I want a little bit of dismember. I'm kind of over trying to relic them. I think I wanted to cut like a Mind Lash for a dismember. I think that's about it. I had cut the Shadow, but I think this card. I think this card. Nah, Dismember's got to be better than Shadow Sliver. It kills their stuff almost all the time. Let's try this. I don't think you can ever cut an Ether Vial, even though... Oh, I'm on the draw. I think this is fine, too. Why was I thinking I was on the play? The Ether Vials... Sometimes these decks can cut Ether Vial, but I don't think this deck can ever do that. Even though this is bound to happen at some point. Yeah, this is what I was talking about last game, where you can't keep a Ziggurat hand. I mean, this is basically a 6 anyway, so I'm sending it back. Even if this was, like, a Cavern, this hand would not be the most exciting. Though I guess against the Thoughtseize, it's, like... Yeah, still pretty bad. Yeah, decent. I don't think that's the spell I want, even though I guess I need a mix of like spells and a little bit of mana, but I don't think Mind Lash is the spell I want. Uh, yeah, I think Bone Splitters, after playing some more, I think it is significantly better than Bone Size Sliver. Leading on this is the better one to protect against a removal spell. This is probably a Thought Scour, though. Yeah, and they hit K Command. I'll probably kill my opponent before they hit their 5th mana, or I'll be dead by the time they have it. There's not like an intermediate. It's gonna be like a turn 2 Tassiger that I dismember and play a Gale Rider into. Yeah, based on Inquisition. Okay, sure. There was a pause there, and I thought that was the classic Magic Online. What cards are you dredging? Pause, but yeah. So I guess there's not really any debate here. They know all the cards in my hand. I'm going to play the card that they don't know. I probably just play that land, because in theory I would rather discard the Ziggurat to like a K command later or something. I'm not too concerned about giving them the extra Death Shadow range here. I'm going to have to kill them sometime this game. It doesn't get better if I wait. This implies that they have... Let's see. Because they took the Gale Rider there, they probably have... They either don't have a creature, which means they're going to load up on removal here, or Snapcaster or something, or they have another discard spell for this and a creature. But if they had like creature plus removal, they would probably leave me with Gale Rider. Yeah, if you have a Snapcaster Mage, I've been defeated. Oh, there's no push this game. Okay, that's fine then. It's a K command. I probably discard a Ziggurat. And a shadow with a fetch line is still going to get out of dismember range, so I still shove with my 1 damage thing. If my opponent was at 11, there's an argument for not putting them to 10 so that they couldn't fetch, take 3, make a 6/6 shadow. But I accept this. And this is all, I was doing the math all post K command. Well, I have produced all the cards that I can produce. I have a Bone Splitter. This is a Slivers life, you know. Your deck is creatures and spells are not really in your deck. You don't have a lot of flexibility. Yeah, you have acceptably destroyed my Dismember. Congratulations. So I bet, I mean, they knew both my cards. There's probably a Delve creature or some, ooh, 4/4 Shadow. Million Shadow. Okay. Let's not attack into that. I mean, my opponent knows my cards. I just want to know if, nope. It doesn't auto do the conditional mana for you. I think that was a fix they had to do to, something like Mishra's Workshop got really weird with colorless mana in that. Or Eldrazi Temple, maybe? One of the two was like auto-paying the wrong mana. So this, based on them not taking damage, they're not going to be picking off my stuff. This is probably going to play D for a little bit. This is a snap for Jace Fringe Prodigy. That's even worse for me. Wow, I don't. Well then, land. Okay. I have a complete inability to make any other legal plays besides hope they have nothing. Because they have any card that does anything here, this is bad. Okay, this gets pushed, this gets blocked, I lose everything. Cool. Well, great news. Everything I control is dead. And then this is dead. Yeah, it doesn't get better from here if Jace flips, so whatever. Yeah, Jace kills this, gets back Snapcaster. Oh my gosh, this is a disaster. I think this card might be really good. This might be like the bigger effect that Jerry was looking for when he was talking about Cryptic Command. This is sufficient. I no longer wish to continue playing. My deck has 0 ways to return from this board state. I think Dismember is better against Jace than Relic, so I'm just going to stick with this. I don't think I want a third Dismember. I think that, so this is like the classic 3 versus 2 argument. You go from 4 to 3 if you're like, the second copy is not that good, but you go from 3 to 2 when the second copy is like game-losingly bad to draw, which I think it is. Yeah, I don't really like this hand. I think it's just like the bare minimum keepables. I really hate mulliganing against Thoughtseize decks when my hand is like anywhere within reasonable range, because it's really hard to like with a 6-card hand minus effectively a card to a discard spell. It's really hard to rely on your hand doing anything good. It has to be in like the top, such a huge percentage of hands that like you're better off with just an additional piece of cardboard in the way. Because like your flawed 6-card hand is going to fail even worse in this spot. I think this is actually really close. I'm just gonna play this one. I can't like. They're probably not gonna pick off Mana Weft with a kill spell, so I can't afford to lose this to a discard spell if I want to win this game. Where did that go? Ooh, we have a game. They bottomed and drew a card. Yes, let's do that. Ooh, we really have a game. I'm currently debating if holding a card for Kolaghan's command is important. I don't think it is, so I'm just going to put all my cards on the battlefield. Also, having an extra vial in play for... I have to vial this in first. It's like Kira, where it triggers on the spell being cast. My opponent's going to 13, which is still not that shadowy. Yeah, having the second vial in play lets me prepare for those kind of eventualities. Bottom, 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 bottom. No, top? Rude. Probably a 2/2 shadow? They sure can't push, and they sure can't play a Tassiger, so this is fine. I believe I'm supposed to load up both files. That's quite a draw. I mean, if my opponent has a Street Wraith, they have a Street Wraith. I don't think there was anything I could do against that. So they go to 5. Their Death Shadow lives through combat regardless because of how combat damage works. But I have to put them down to dead. Okay, yeah, cool. Hopefully Diffusion Sliver is just too much for them to handle this game without mana. Yeah, that looks pretty promising. So if they play another Dork here, like a Delve Dork, they're dead. They're actually just dead. I don't... Wow. Is that... No. We didn't 2-0 Shadow this league, did we? Really? 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 You don't say, huh? Well then, that was awesome. Yeah, so to wrap up, this deck was pretty darn impressive. I mean, I was riding the edge on winning a lot of those matches, so I don't want to say it's like super duper impressive. I'm not sure that losing Reflector Mage from humans is worth it to be Slivers over humans, but there's a lot of cool stuff going on here. Gale Rider Sliver is super good. Leeching Sliver is a lot better than I thought it would be. Diffusion Sliver, as I said, was nice. Necrotic Sliver does work. I think that like Shadow Sliver and the third Mindlash Sliver are negotiable, but I don't want to bring the curve up too much, and I don't think I want Frenzy Slivers. So I'd have to think on what I want. I don't think I want more Mana Weft Slivers because they're just dorky 1/1s. I went through the whole list of them. I had 2 headed in here for a while. I don't think that's what I want. The sideboard is cards. I have nothing to say. I mean, you could put... I don't think Leyline of Sanctity does anything. I think these are better than Leyline of the Void. You could have Gut Shot if you want. That was a card that came up in my article this week about Chartercourse. I think that that's a reasonable card to have in these kinds of decks. Let's see. I don't think you want Homing Sliver. Let's just let's do a quick search and think. Just think. Format Modern. Card type Sliver. This is probably going to show the silly Sliver bouncing Ether Mage thing. I don't think Sentinel Sliver is the card I want. I don't want the 5-drop for sure. I have seen this card in decks before, though. I cut all the Haste Slivers from the deck because I didn't think this deck, like, by the time I put a Haste Sliver into play, I should have deployed all my other Slivers, so I don't think that's relevant. Yeah, the Vigilance one, I don't think I'm attacking and blocking. Uh, there was some silly combo with this. Oh, there was this Sliver, the Vigilance one in limited, but that's not what I want to do. I don't think Sliver Legion's the deal that I want. Said no homing. Cautery isn't off the table. I could see Cautery Sliver being good. Just like another thing that lets you boost through damage on the last turn. Which is kind of funny because it's not very good. Frenetic Sliver is interesting. I don't think TK Sliver does enough. RIP Sedge Sliver. Same with Firewake not doing enough. Spine Sliver's like more additional copies of Sidewinder, which isn't the end of the world. And this is literally all the cards that I can put in my deck. I could put Chameleon Colossus in my deck, but I don't think that's what I want to do. I don't think there's any other like 2-drop changelings. So yeah, maybe I might try. I think Spine Sliver and what was the other one that interests me? They're just so marginal. I don't think it's a huge deal. Oh, Cautery. I think the first one I would try is Cautery instead of these two. But maybe you want the Shadow Sliver. I don't know. Yeah, Cautery Sliver is like the only other card I consider putting in this deck. I don't think there's a lot of options. It does what it does, but if you want to Slivers people, I don't think it's completely unreasonable to do so.